Dear students, you have learned about the animals with backbones. Now let us learn about the animals without backbones. You all must have seen an earthworm. Have you ever seen it standing erect like a man? Obviously, you never have. An earthworm does not have backbones or the vertebral column, so it cannot stand erect. Like an earthworm, animals like a snail, a slug, also do not have the vertebral column. They also cannot stand erect. Animals that do not have the vertebral column are called invertebrates.
So, the animals like an earthworm, a snail, and a slug are invertebrates.
If you press the body of a cow with your finger, you find it hard because it has bones. But the body of an earthworm is soft.
The invertebrates like a slug, a butterfly, a roundworm, and an octopus also have soft bodies.
All the vertebrates are multicellular animals, but not all the invertebrates are multicellular animals. This is a Paramecium. It is an invertebrate. It is made of only one cell. Very interesting, isn't it? Animals made up of only one cell are unicellular animals. Therefore, a Paramecium is a unicellular animal. Other invertebrates, like an amoeba and a euglena, are also unicellular animals.
Unicellular animals are so small that we cannot see them with our naked eyes. We can see them only under a microscope.
There are millions of small creatures which we can see only under microscope. However, we can easily see invertebrates like a snail, a slug, an ant, and a butterfly with our naked eyes. These invertebrates are multicellular animals.
So, invertebrates can be either unicellular or multicellular.
Students, you all know that a horse is a vertebrate. It has an endoskeleton that supports its body. Now, look at this slug. This slug is an invertebrate.
It does not have an endoskeleton like a horse.
Have you ever wondered how its body is supported? Well, let me tell you. The body of a slug is filled with fluid. The fluid inside the body of a slug acts like a skeleton and provides it with definite shape and size. This kind of fluid-filled system acting as a skeleton and providing definite shape and size to the body is hydrostatic skeleton.
Hydrostatic skeleton supports the body of a slug.
Like a slug, invertebrates like a snail, an earthworm, and a jellyfish also have hydrostatic skeletons. Most of the invertebrates have hydrostatic skeletons to support their bodies. Now, look at this snail. The snail has a hard covering on its back. It is the shell.
A crab also has a hard covering on its body. It is also the shell.
Some invertebrates, like a snail and a crab, have hard shell coverings on their bodies. Shells are the external skeleton.
An invertebrate with the shell hides inside the shell to protect itself from its enemies.
Dear students, you know that vertebrates have separate sexes, male and female. Now look at these invertebrates. This is a male mosquito and this is a female mosquito. This is a male roundworm and this is a female roundworm.
Invertebrates like a mosquito and a roundworm also have separate sexes, male and female. Similarly, invertebrates like a crab, a butterfly, a honeybee and a cockroach also have separate sexes, male and female.
Invertebrates that have different sexes reproduce sexually like vertebrates. Now look at this amoeba. The amoeba is a unicellular invertebrate. The amoeba does not have male and female sexes. So, it does not reproduce sexually. It reproduces by dividing itself into two identical amoeba.
The two amoeba so formed multiply into 4 amoeba and so on.
The process of reproduction in which a unicellular animal divides into 2 and then 4 and then 8 and so on is called fission. Hence, an amoeba reproduces by the process known as fission.
Unicellular invertebrates like a Paramecium, a bacteria, and a euglena also reproduce by the process of fission.
Fission is a type of asexual reproduction. Thus, some invertebrates reproduce sexually and some invertebrates reproduce asexually. Students, you all know that a whale is the biggest animal, and a whale is a vertebrate. An elephant is the largest animal on the land. An elephant is also a vertebrate. A dog is a small animal. A dog is also a vertebrate. Now, look here. Here we have a dog and a snail. A snail is an invertebrate. The snail looks very small in front of the dog, doesn't it?
A snail looks smaller in front of the vertebrates like a cat, a goat, a sheep, and a hen as well.
Other invertebrates like a bee, an ant, a crab, and a butterfly are also smaller than the vertebrates. Invertebrates like a slug and an earthworm are also smaller than the vertebrates.
Most of the invertebrates are smaller than the vertebrates.
Students, you all know that a horse is a vertebrate. A horse can run very fast. Look at this tortoise. The tortoise is crawling very slowly. Now look at this slug near the tortoise. Look, it is moving. It is even slower than the tortoise. Look at this dog. A dog is a vertebrate. It also can run very fast.
But the invertebrates like a bee, an ant, a crab, and a butterfly move slower than the dog.
Invertebrates are slow-moving animals. Students, you know that vertebrates cannot make their own food by themselves. So, vertebrates are heterotrophs. Like vertebrates, invertebrates also cannot make their own food by themselves. Invertebrates are also heterotrophs.
So, invertebrates like an earthworm, a snail, a slug, a honeybee, a butterfly, and a dragonfly are heterotrophs. They cannot make their food by themselves.